Chris Guzman with your weekly Thursday night injection of boxing talk, updates, and all-out arguments. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance. It is Thursday night, January the 24th, 2008. We are live from the Golden Leaf Cigar Lounge, 6 and 51 in Hobart. Tonight's Golden Leaf trivia question. Bolo Punch prize pack on the line. Bolo Punch prize pack full of anywhere from $50 to $75 worth of autographed memorabilia. Throw a poster in. Plenty of autographs, programs, magazines, flyers, whatever, what have you. The question is this. When Mike Tyson won the heavyweight championship of the world at age 20, he broke a record, becoming the youngest man ever to hold the heavyweight championship of the world. Whose record did he break is the question. When Mike Tyson won the heavyweight championship of the world, he became the youngest man to ever hold the world heavyweight championship. Whose record did he break? If you know the answer, you can call us at what Timmy just told us, the Bolo Punch hotline, area code 219-743-9743. Again, area code 219-743-9743. Nestor, you cannot do this, so you might as well put your damn phone away. Or you can hit us up on the message board, Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, that is referred to as all one word, and several other ways that you can get your vote in.
I have an answer.
You already have an answer?
Yeah, it's our buddy Pete.
Okay, well, Pete's an vote.
Pete, how long has it been since you won your last prize pack?
It's probably been more than 30 days.
Pete runs our message board now.
Yeah, Pete, you run the message board, therefore you are part of the
Also
group.
null and void. All right, you have to be the 5th person to call in to come in with the right answer.
But I believe
Is Pete right?
It would help if you gave me the answer beforehand, but yes, I believe Pete is right. I believe I know the answer, and I believe Pete is right.
I believe you know the answer. I believe you know the answer. Anyway, let's get to some headlines. London, England. The long-awaited fight between Bernard Hopkins and Joe Calzaghe will be taking place in Vegas on April 19th. I can't wait for this fight, Mo. Calzaghe, Hopkins, the legend against the undefeated warrior that has just been blowing out everybody.
They showed some highlights of a press conference between those two guys on Friday Night Fights last week.
They don't like each other very much.
Yeah, they were up in each other's face. Hopkins, I think, kind of does it for promotions, but I don't think Calzaghe was like.
I don't think he was kidding.
Hopkins has admitted to taking part in press conference fights.
Yeah.
He smacked Winky Wright.
Yep.
And admitted it and was fined. So now he just stands in front of guys and stares at them.
Yeah, well, at least they didn't go to blows this time, but it was pretty, yeah.
Not to pay the sanction fee.
But they are moving up the light heavy for this one.
Hopkins already is there, but Calzaghe's moving up to light heavy.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. He's been for 21 defenses at super middle. I believe it's 21. I'm not positive on that.
21 consecutive world title defenses at super middle.
How big a league actually is it?
Not all that much. But he leaves that.
Is it a bowl of biscuit? Is it a biscuit and gravy dinner or breakfast before? Or
it's a 2-piece and a biscuit.
But he is the unified champion plus the ring champion as well.
Yeah, he's got to give all that up. I mean, do you have to give that up?
Well, he can go up. If he goes up and comes right back down, he won't have to give it all up.
If he goes up and loses.
And he won't have to give the ring magazine one up. But if he moves up and comes back down, he's obviously going to miss one of the defenses that the mandatories that he has to.
Well, since he fights him once a damn year.
Yeah, well, even if he fights twice a year, he's still not going to have enough time to, he's got to fight pretty quick.
Tell Jake LaMotta he won't have time.
Yeah.
LaMotta fight 12 times a year, easy. And still get all his mandatories in. Yeah. So,
got to fight Chicago tonight and Youngstown tomorrow.
Calzaghe was actually quoted as saying he definitely needs a facelift, and I'm going to sort him out. He says, "I just hope he's not going to run from me."
I don't know. He probably will run for the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then try to turn it on late like he always does. Hopkins.
I don't know how he outlasts guys the way he does. As old as he is, 41.
Hey.
Well, you're not a professional athlete.
You're not running anywhere. You don't even run to the fridge.
No, you're right. I walk.
I crawl most of the time.
Where you ask Angie to go get you a beer.
I trained Magellan to get a beer.
It'd be easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Felix Trinidad Did he really show up for this fight against Roy Jones, or did he just sort of show up?
Well, he actually had trouble making the weight, and he's been famous at a much lighter weight class.
Much.
And then he comes in here and doesn't make the weight, and
It was over by 1.5 pounds, wasn't he?
Welter, super welter, junior middle, and then middle.
Yeah, and he stayed at middle for a little while. That was basically where he retired from.
Yeah.
And then here he comes in at light heavy, like a catch weight light heavy, basically.
Or round light heavy, yeah.
Yeah, and comes in just slightly over.
How weird is it that Trinidad moves up in weight to meet up with Jones and shows up weighing more than Jones?
Yeah, you would think Jones is the one that would be. I mean, he fought heavyweight, what, 3 fights ago?
3-4 fights ago. Nah, it's been
longer than that.
It's been a while. Oh yeah, it has been a little while.
He's had 2 fights. He's had two fights since his losses.
Yeah, that's
so it's probably been 5 or 6 fights since he fought that.
But that was the fight that was before he started losing all those fights. And there a lot of people are saying that going up in weight, and he added all that muscle to go up in weight because he didn't want to just go up in weight by adding fat because he figured that he wouldn't have a chance of winning. So
he's going to need to be able to move.
So when he came back down, he had to lose the muscle, basically, that he had to put on. And a lot of people are blaming that on the reason that he looked so sluggish in those few fights.
I would agree with that. There was a lot of talk about gloves right before this fight, too.
Yeah, there's a big sign behind Jones.
Well, yeah. do you think that Roy Jones gets paid by Grant? Jones wanted to wear Grant gloves because they were actually color coordinated with his outfit, which is a cool thing to do, evidently. And Trinidad wanted to fight Everlast, which was weird to me. I thought Trinidad always wore Reyes gloves, which are Mexican gloves, the harder Mexican style hard gloves. We were actually talking with Jimmy Holmes, the former middleweight champion of the state of Indiana, and he says getting hit with a Reyes glove is like getting hit with concrete. It's much tougher.
Well, he said you just feel the gloves.
Yeah.
You can feel the padding. It's completely different. He doesn't know if it's just packed tighter or a different material that's in there.
They weigh the same.
Yeah,
it's just the way that the padding is packed in there, or the way the padding is.
It could be just a different material. I don't know.
I don't know.
If you take a backyard's worth of foam and shove it into one glove, it still weighs the same, but
just the way it's wound.
It's like I was at the Lake County Fair once with a bunch of cotton candy on a stick, and my brother asked if he could just have that much, and I was like, sure. And he grabbed a big old handful, wadded it up, and it was that much, and he popped it in his mouth.
But it still weighs.
Thanks for sharing.
It was that much. It's just like the gloves. Try to find the connection. So Jones ended up having to wear Everlast gloves because Don Trinidad, the trainer and father of Felix Trinidad, decided that it was in the contract.
I thought it looked like crap because it didn't match the rest of his outfit. I thought it was stupid.
I'm surprised he won.
I really
I'm surprised he won with those Everlast gloves.
I mean, it simply wasn't.
Jones looked in great shape for this, though. He was cut at that way.
Well, we'll talk about the fight itself when we go through the recap. But yeah, I mean, just talking about their build.
Yeah.
Tito looked soft.
Yeah, in the weigh-in, they showed Tito even trying to flex because he's seen Jones. He's standing there ripped. He was flexing as well.
Jones has always been in top shape, whether he was sluggish or not. Always looked exactly the way a fighter's supposed to look.
But it doesn't look like Jones will actually even have to go down in weight. I thought it would prove to be a great factor for Jones if he could go down in weight and fight at super middle, because I don't think he's going to get the fight with Calzaghe. Calzaghe's going to choose somebody else. He's going to fight Hopkins, and then he's going to look for probably Chad Dawson at that weight class. He's not. I think he's going to go around Jones because Jones doesn't have a title.
Well, it was actually announced today that Chad Dawson's calling out Roy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think, and I think Jones could go down and maybe fight Alan Green or Miranda or Kelly Pavlik or.
You're saying Jones against Miranda?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a lot of guys at super middle that he can match up with. So that's where I think it would prove for him to be a little bit better. And he has a little bit more speed at that.
He's too heavy for Jermaine Taylor.
No.
Stop it. Jones was even saying, he says he would not mind fighting the winner. He says he'd go down to 154 and fight Oscar.
I don't know.
He said he would.
How could he get down to 154?
15 pounds. He weighed in at 169, wasn't he?
Yeah, 169 and some change.
He's dropping 15 pounds.
Where is he going to drop it at? Did you see how ripped he was? He's going to cut his arm off and jump on the scale?
Haircut? I don't know.
Haircut. The guy's nearly bald as it is. Oh, anyway, let's move on. Speaking of Oscar De La Hoya is probably going to fight Stevie Forbes. Now, it was announced 2 days ago that the fight was signed. And they had to retract it slightly on all the websites because now they're finding out, well, it's not actually signed. But
Stevie signed.
Stevie signed the second that boy saw that thing. Yeah, I'll fight Oscar De La Hoya. Are you kidding me? I'll make the most I'll ever make.
Yeah.
No, you didn't have to exactly have to twist his arm off to side against Oscar.
No.
Oscar wants to fight 3 times in 08 and then retire at the beginning of 09.
Oh, he's going to fight 3 times this year.
He wants to fight 3 times. He wants to fight Steve Forbes, and then he wants to fight Floyd in September. Then he wants to end it all in December or January.
Against
Against Roy Jones.
Probably Ricky Hatton.
Probably Ricky Hatton. Klitschko. Oscar's going to move up to heavyweight. No, they're gonna fight at a catchweight of 170. Klitschko's going to lose 40 pounds.
I don't think Oscar wants all those losses in a row. That's why he's going to throw Stevie Forbes in there. He thinks he can beat him. Forbes has proven, though, in recent fights that he's got still has the talent to maybe have an upset.
He can't beat Oscar.
You know,
I love Stevie. I love you, man. You were handpicked, though, buddy. You were handpicked because you're a name, but you're beatable in this case. What does Pete Perry have to say? What does Timmy have to say?
I'm gonna say Amo's working on his promotion skills there. He's got a good chance, and he can really win this fight.
Yes, he can. Yes.
I'm trying to get people on the message board to pick Stevie Forbes so I can win. Wait, you always watch. I always pick my name. My guy's late.
You do watch everyone. You do watch what everyone else picks. Ruslan Shaigev, the WBA heavyweight champion of the world, took out Matt Skelton. Didn't take him out, but won a unanimous decision over Matt Skelton after 12 rounds on Saturday night. Shaigev still undefeated at 24-0 with 17 knockouts.
His back all right?
Is his back all right? Yeah. It was then reported that shortly after his back went out, and he's retired for another 6 months to a year. I wish I've never said this before. I wish the mixed martial arts guys were here. Because I've got a really great quote from Mark Ratner, the former Nevada State Athletic Commission executive director, on the positive aspects of boxing when they're talking, because he used to run the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Now he's over there working for Dana White in mixed martial arts world of UFC. His quote is, "The growth of mixed martial arts has been great, but the growth has not been at boxing's expense. There's plenty of boxing still going on. Boxing had a fabulous year." Time out for a second. You better believe it. The second half of 07 was outstanding. Back into the quote again, I'm sorry. "It just proves that if you put the fighters together who the public wants to see, there is a vast audience," end quote. Truer words have never been said. Everyone was saying that MMA was supposed to replace boxing.
Yeah,
and this time
it was taking everybody away from boxing.
This time last year, at the very beginning of 07, people were saying, "Oh, you watch. We're going to get Liddell fighting Tito. We're going to get him fighting Rampage Jackson. We're going to be getting all these guys in. Plus the YouTube guy, Kimbo Slice, be fighting Tank Abbott. All these MMA fights that the people have been dying to see for all these years, they're all going to happen, and they're just going to blow out boxing altogether." This is proof. It didn't blow out boxing. There is room for both sports to grow.
I think
shoulder to shoulder.
I think Kimbo Slice is a big advantage for MMA to have. I mean, they have.
Well, they owe all of that to YouTube.
Yeah, and not just YouTube, all of the different video sites that have him on there. But Kimbo is a big draw, and in any scene, if he would have came to boxing, boxing would have soared right back to the top. Would have been probably back up there with football again, because I mean,
strong words, but I can see it.
He's a huge draw. I think it's going to help immensely for MMA to have that top heavyweight. That's what we're hoping maybe Povetkin might turn into, or Chambers. We need that for the heavyweight.
Could be. A little bit of a crossover champion. Someone that people can really adhere to.
Well, I think what hopefully the boxing promoters have learned from 07 is they need to put the big fights together. You know, you put the big fights together, the crowds will come, and you'll bring the sport back up. You know.
Well, Bob Arum actually was talking about what demographics teamed up with who, what groups of people actually, stood next to which type of sport, MMA or boxing. MMA took the young white male demographic. They have taken it almost completely. 78% of young white males asked on the street actually went on the record saying they'd rather go to an MMA event than to a live boxing event. It simply happened. Boxing, however, kept the older white males, kept the Hispanics, and kept the African Americans. What do you think of that?
Well, you're not gonna run into too many Latinos in MMA. There are in there
American Latinos, right? You're not.
But I like the I like the demographics. I really do, and I think you got to figure as the young white males become older, they'll get tired of the MMA action and look for something else in the same combat world and end up back to boxing. And I firmly believe that.
I think the big thing that's helping MMA right now is the fact that it's on Spike TV,
Which is free.
Yeah, which is basic cable. Then you have that, and that's where the younger crowd is getting the sport from right now too.
That's a very cutting edge network. You're right, because when they're not showing mixed martial arts stuff, they're showing guys jumping off cliffs.
Right. That's a younger
X Games.
That's a younger station.
Bunch of crap.
Hopefully the boxing world will benefit from the us network or the Versus network.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hopefully they'll get the same thing going.
They landed a huge uppercut, pardon the pun there, by landing NBC to be the contender.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah.
That was huge. I still really dig that.
It's still one of the best shows on, as far as boxing goes, is Friday Night Fights, which is a network television event.
ESPN too. Yeah. When it's on. I never do boxing to have a season, but they've decided that there's a boxing season, and we're in it now. We're about 4 weeks into it right now.
Yeah, but even when they're out of their season, the Contender's on, so that's on, and then
HBO and Showtime are always on.
Yeah, they're always on too. So, but those are networks that you have to pay a little extra for.
And the last thing I was going to talk about, the last bullet here, is just awesome Chad Dawson looking at Roy Jones for a clash a little bit later on. Kelly Pavlik, Jermaine Taylor, the winner of that, might have a shot at Dawson coming up. Roy might take a shot at them. Roy's talking about he'll fight all the way down to junior middleweight to fight Oscar. Junior middle.
He's looking for a big payday before he has to retire.
And he knows where the money's at. He knows where the money's at.
But he's looking for a star. It's good that he's looking for a star to fight instead of a guy that's a guaranteed win.
True. Let's take our first break of the night. We'll come right back. I'll repeat the trivia question, and we'll get right back on to the topic of what fights got us through the week, starting with Roy Jones Felix Trinidad. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance, www.hssp.cc, sportsjuice.com.